Alright folks, welcome back to another Mullen stream. We are working on this brew over here. We had a pretty solid league with the first time I tried this. So we learned some stuff. We learned some stuff from the previous league, and we made some changes accordingly. We added a second copy of Simic Chamber to the mana base because I found that it was kind of tough to get the Tulare West thingy going without the second one. So we did that over the third basic, the basic forest. We also changed the tracker that I had made for Crassus. This is mostly an experiment. And I added First Vigor and Reclamation Sage and Remnant Excavator to the sideboard. So we're going to see how those cards work out. And yeah, this deck is kind of a blast. It's definitely felt like there might be something here. Crassus is sweet. There you go. Damn it. We're on the draw. This hand is glacially slow. I mean, this sounds better. I think I'm gonna bottom the Ghost Quarter. See what we're paired against. Well, wish I had access to that Ghost Quarter right about now, huh? Misty. Okay. So I think I'm gonna try Welder here. I would like to not expose this field if I don't have to, but yeah, we're gonna have to. Kinda sucks. I had Crassus in my Amulet sideboard against Contrary was pretty good. I personally am not a fan of the card, honestly. Like, every time that I tried an Amulet, it was extremely lackluster, so at one point I just stopped trying. Turns to Tron. Do you have a thought not to? Or a Karn? I guess that it's easier for us to be a thought not with this hand than it is to be the Karn. So I would love it if they didn't have a Karn. Mismatched lands. Yeah, like, I don't know. This just turns Tron players on. I don't know why. The tilt factor. The tilt factor, chat. Never forget about the tilt factor. Funny. I think we're fucked. I don't think we can beat this. Unless they mess it up somehow. Which seems unlikely. Fabulous Tron deck, I intentionally use one of each art. Yeah, that's... I don't know. Like, Tron players feel like they're so smart by doing that. But so stupid. Yeah. We just cannot outrace the Karn. And we cannot stop them from having Tron. Everything is wrong about that. Raminap, Tracker, and... well, I guess that we have a shit ton of terrible cards, right? So we're gonna have to be bringing in bad cards. Just because we have some... We just don't have very many good cards. Is Ashiok better than Napping Sphere? I don't think so. No, let's just submit this. Questing Beast in the sideboard? No. No. Ashiok with Quarter? That's not a combo. This hand doesn't do anything. Yeah. Wait, did I just skip this? We cannot cast spells. Why are people so tilted about mismatched? It just looks ugly. I don't think that people are really tilted. Like, would I prefer, because of my OCD, that people play with all the same art? Yes. Am I tilted about it? Like, am I upset about it? No, I don't care. Like, people can do whatever they want, but I wouldn't do it. Chalice for 1. You got a champ. You got a champ. I'm gonna feel that it was a tower. Gonna get a blue source here. So do I want to dig one card deeper into my deck, or do I want to make sure I have a second green source in case I draw a Titan? I think... Huh. Well, I guess this one allows me to do both, while the other one doesn't. Or I can just draw another Steve and get even more punished for my decision. That's also an option. That's funny. We can cast the Simian Spirit Guide, which is kind of poggers. Here's the Karn. We don't care about it too much this time around. So we have access to Force. Look at that mana base. Beautiful mana base. Let's go. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So if they have all this dust, they can actually cast it here. Seems not good for them. But we've seen weirder things happen. Sure. Smasher. Sure. Gonna get a forest. I guess we cannot crack clues. Bummer. But we should be able to get Uro next turn. So that's okay. Another blue source. So we dismember and we discard a G-Pact. This kind of sucks, honestly. But I think it's what I have to do. I could also pitch the Force. Nah. The thing is, I don't want to play this Uro into the blast zone. Nice to say, nice. We can remove the coding or we can draw a card from... I think I'm gonna draw a card. Steve would be a good draw. Ha! Love it. Love to see it. So they're gonna boost the blast zone up to 3. Crass is looking so bad here. Yep. There was nothing that they could do with the amount of mana that they had right there, but of course they went ahead and they drew the missing Tron piece. Shit. So we're not in great shape right here. So they blew up 2 of my lands. Chalice for 3. You got it. Sure. So now we blow both of this up. we untap an Uro. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I need to give myself Titan mana. It sucks to exile their stuff, and I don't want to exile my stuff either because of... it sucks to exile their stuff because now they can get it back if they play Karn. So that bog actively hurting us, but I didn't want to exile my own stuff because I might draw a Raminap, or I might want to recast this Uro down the line. Rough. Chalice for 0, you got it. Chalice for 0, immediately top deck. Immediately top deck the card that makes it good, and then immediately top deck a Titan naturally. Good stuff. Good stuff. Should I go Squatter here? What matters? What actually matters? All this dust is the only thing that matters. All this dust and Ensnaring Bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So Ensnaring Bridge we can't really stop. And all this dust we also can't really stop. I think I'm gonna go for Field Bounce, however. I guess Field Ghost Squatter. I guess, no. Field Bounce, no. Yeah, Field Bounce. Because we haven't used her land drop so far. It's one more Sombo. Cool. Yeah, I think we're fine here. We just submit the same. I don't think we want bad mana leak. One lander. Killing me, deck. You're killing me here. Okay, so we bottom this. So turn 1, turn 2, this. Turn 3, turn 4. Actually, Steve is worse. Yeah, because with Explore, we are allowing ourselves to draw a Simian Spirit Guide and play Primetime on 3. So I think Explorer is it's a better keep, sorry. Excuse me. Okay, so my opponent's gonna have a turn 3 Trunks, they are professional. Yep. Maze Mind Tome. So that means that they already had the Tron. I mean, I played it correctly. Will it matter? We shall see. So we're gonna have turn 3 Titan. And of course we had to bounce the bog because we want the castle to enter untapped. So we need the pool to be in play. Yeah, just nutty Tron. Oops. All right. So we're actually just dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're just gonna concede. Rough. Both losses were to being on the draw and my opponent having turn 3 Karn, which there's literally nothing that we can do about. So, yeah, there's actually nothing that can be done about that. I don't think there's any way that we can... Like, we just don't have Amulet, right? So that's how we beat those very powerful turns from Eldrazi Tron or from, like, actual Tron. Was the first league 4-1? Yes, it was a 4-1. We lost to Sharkblade. We beat Shadow twice. We beat Green Tron and we beat Esper Control. Okay. Turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Alright. Lista plateada menos para el meta actual, Link. Métete en mi stream deck, Rulo. O en mi... Las tengo posteadas en mi Discord también. Lucksack. Lucksack. Well, we're doing that one on turn 2 now. Oops, oops. I guess we're doing this end step, never mind. So this is whatever. This actually doesn't matter. You don't want to fetch on your opponent's turn like during their turn because it enables, like it might enable, like if we had a dismember, for example, like we wanted to dismember this Soulcard Mage, Curse Scroll, thank you for the follow, then you, I guess dismember is a bad example because you're taking damage anyway, but like what I'm trying to say is you want to make sure that you do that on your turn so you don't enable Spectacle on their turn by fetching. So that also means they're not going to have a Drake this turn, which is very good news for us. Mutagenic Growth. Okay. It's weird. That is very weird, actually. Like, why would they do that main phase? But why would they do that right now? They can have more creatures down the line, and that represents even more damage. Pretty weird. Hello. Sniping. No, I'm not assuming that they are sniping. I don't like to assume that my opponents are like ghosting or whatever, but I'm trying to make sense of what they're doing, right? Are they gonna sack a land to cash it in for 2 points of damage? And that's the point. Like if you're using mutagenic growth like that, why are you also not using all of this to cash in for like a point of damage, right? That is the weird thing. Like, why would you only mutagenic growth and not also gut shot? Because like they're effectively the same, right? And now because my opponent didn't hold on to this mutagenic growth, I'm going to be able to play my Dryad, and it's actually going to not be... Like, we did have a Chalice, I guess, but like that was a free Prowess trigger, and it also represented more damage if my opponent had access to more creatures in play instead of just the one. Oh, thank you, Sweatpants, appreciate it. Qué lindo cambio escuchar el stream en argentino. Sí, sí, cuando la gente me pregunta cosas en español, yo siempre respondo en español. Para los pibes, ¿viste? Para los pibes. Alright, what is this? So it looks like they're missing a land drop. And now we're going to be able to play a Dryad and roadblock this thing. So that's cool. Best draw is probably a castle, I want to say. Not a Titan player, but dig your idea and your brews. Because oh, thank you, Tenork. I really appreciate it. Thank you for that cheer. Thanks for hanging out too. Thanks for hanging out here on the stream. So if we explore, we get to gain 2, but I think that actually being able to block to prevent my opponent from lighting up the stage and using the other dude is going to be a lot more valuable. So we're going to do this, and I'm going to use Simic to bounce my own fountain. I think this Chalice basically just locked this up, right? If they draw a land, they're going to be able to, like... Well, I guess that they can cast this thing, they just need to sack their land to this Lava Dart, and then that means that the light up the stage goes to waste. Yeah, I think we just have this. Let's say that I would be really, really impressed if my opponent somehow manages to turn this into a W. Manamorphose is a really good draw. Manamorphose is a really, really good draw there. Most definitely. I'm still snapping off this block. Chalice of the Void and Hydra Crazes. Exactly. That's what we call breaking the format, Twinless Twin. And actually, this whole entire deck kind of came to... Like, I had the Stroke of Genius precisely while playing against this deck. And I went turn 2 Trinisphere against this deck, and it was... It didn't work out well for my opponent. It was thoroughly enjoyable. It was thoroughly enjoyable. This is very much not Amulet, Twinless Twin. Very much not Amulet. Sure. I'm gonna block. Do you want to sack one of your 2 land? Ooh, okay. It's actually pretty good for them. That one is actually kind of cool for them. I feel like I have to block, though. It represents one less land. It represents 2 less cards. So yeah, 100% we have to block. They're gonna be able to answer the Dryad here. C'est la vie. And I think this turn we're going to be exploring. No. So they do get to answer the Dryad, which is obviously good for them. Because it means that the game is not immediately over. I think they thought that they did damage with this, but they didn't. So like this is just gonna go to waste. So my opponent cast the Light of the Stage. They got 2 cards that they do not get tagged by the Chalice, but still were not able to use them. So that's probably a good exchange for us. Ooh, okay. Does that mean we just play a Crassus for 1? Like, we're winning next turn regardless. We're just casting Titan, and Titan just takes over. So I guess I might as well just cast the Crassus, just gain a life, draw 1 card, make it 2/2, whatever. It just doesn't matter. We're just Titaning and winning next turn. And I think I'm blocking the Soulscar Mage. Feel free to use spells. Well, this chalice is just doing so much work. This chalice is just doing ridiculous amounts of work. So I'm going to pack for a Titan, and I'm gonna get field plus a Bojuka Bog. And that should be enough to win the game. Unless they're somehow playing Mana Leak in the main deck, this should be game. Field of the Dead, Bojuka Bog. I don't think they have answers to this, so I'm not gonna play a second one. I guess we can hold on to this one and play it for 2. Opponent has 616 minutes left in the clock. Honestly, this deck kind of attacks the meta in a weird way. It's pretty interesting. I see I got the correct islands. Of course, sweatpants. We are. I am a man of culture, okay? We are appreciative of the correct art of things, right? Correct art forest, correct art snowlands, correct art primeval titan, etc., etc. Okay, so Gustos, Dismember, Baloth. That's it. Crassus can come out. Dumping here seems like overdoing it a little bit. don't think I'm gonna go for that one. Cut one Simeon. I like my Uros. Disputes. No, I don't think I want to fight this deck on the stack. They're a lot better at fighting on the stack. So I'm going to try to, you know, use lock pieces and stuff. That's how I fight better. Let's try something like this. I honestly don't even know that this is probably wrong, but maybe I should be cutting Steve's. It's just hitting land drop seems so important. Yes. Turn 1, turn 2. If we draw any untap land, turn 3. Sounds legit. I guess if they don't play a creature, should I dismember? Should I hold up dismember anyway? Because they might play the... They might play the Drake on turn 2. One dispute seems okay. It seems worse than something like a Simian Spirit Guide, basically. If they do play a creature here, which they did, okay, so we're just gonna main phase dismember this thing. This is gonna represent a lot more damage down the line. Okay. Why did draw step stop? Also, by killing the creature before we let them untap, we don't allow them to use mutagenic growth as a free way to enable the dragon on turn 2. So I get to go Chalice into Trinisphere. These. It's pretty decent. They got nothing, chat. They got nothing. And we got the stuffs. We got the stuffs. Spell Pierce. That's fine. Trinisphere is the better lock piece anyway. They must have brought in a Braids. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they definitely have a Braids in their deck, but like I'm still gonna jam, right? Sprite Dragon. Definitely slamming Trini here over Udo. Next turn we're gonna get to Udo on double. Gracias. On double. There's no way they have force. I think that's just like an oh shit pause right there. Have you found that the value for playing bounce lands without amulet is still good? Yes, well, it's kind of like a combo, right? Like I just want my Titans to be able to go find their friends. And the way to do that is by getting bounce land into the west and being able to bounce, right? No third land, Trinisphere, so good, yep. Doesn't work, OP. Doesn't work. So we Udo. Okay, so we are not gonna be able to field this turn, and we're kind of far away from flashing back to Udo. And we're also kind of far away from triggering this field. Okay, now they can play one spell a turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. They cannot even use Metamorphose. Because Metamorphose represents -1 mana. Sure. Stage's been lit up. Huh, that's interesting. So I guess we cannot field now. Field. One, two, three, four. I'm trying to see what's the fastest way for me to feed the Uro, basically. One, two. Yeah, I think we're just going to Steve plus Dryad. No, we're 1 card short. That's the math that I was trying to do. If I could field plus Uro next turn. But unfortunately, I am 1 off. So imagine they're probably gonna like use play Swift Spear here, which is basically a time walk. Wow, really? Is that how they're using their turn? Like, we literally don't care about this Dryad, do we? We just put it on the bottom. I'm planning on winning with Udo. I didn't have 6, I had Yield Anti-Dance Step. Well, F me, I guess. It's okay. At this point, I kind of really want my opponent. Oh, I messed it up. I should have sacked the Steep first, because I would have been able to trigger field. Whoops. I missed out on 1 zombie. Three ball into Titan. Who this? Oh yeah, Scott. We're brewing today. We are hella brewing. So I think my opponent's just holding up Gust. I guess I did miss out on 2 Titans, on 2 zombies. So that is pretty bad. There's the Gusto. I guess they can have exactly Lightning Bolt and we are going to be in trouble. They can have a Lightning Bolt or they can have another Gust. My sequencing mistake is potentially going to cost me this game. Lava Dart. Lava Dart also does it. Alright. Definitely gonna be trying this again. Why wouldn't they just gust the world? I don't know. I mean, technically I could have next leveled them and just not cast the world. Wait for them to use their mana. No Crassus? No, I don't think Crassus is going to be very good here. Mulligan this. I like this. Like this a lot. So we're gonna bottom. We're gonna bottom Misty. I could just bottom Gust. No, that's definitely not the one that I want to bottom. Let's bottom that one. Sideboard.x. Dispute seems kind of reasonable if they have 3 or 4 Gust and Stormwig. Yes, but you have to also remember the fact that I am playing a Trinisphere deck, right? So, if you're always going to be paying 3 for Dispute, it's not that good. So you're just looking at the exchanges, only paying attention to like the positive ones, right? And you're not thinking about situations. They're probably gonna have Spell Pierce here. I still have to jam on turn 1, right? What am I gonna do otherwise? Sure. Doing a little bit short on cards that matter, but on the plus side, so is my opponent, kind of. They're wasting their Metamorphosis for no reason. I'm into that. Unless they're setting up a Reveler. Storm is 4, yeah, exactly. Storm count 4. Now what? I think I'm gonna Bailout here. Because we cannot get Rebelered. And we don't really care too much about the damage from the Swift Spears, because we're gonna have Aether Gusts to time walk them a bunch. No, I think that we want to like be ahead and then we start casting time walks. No blocks. Cute. That's a nice draw. We can still cast both Gusts. We have a Dryad in play. My opponent just locked themselves out of blue mana though. So I'm not interested at all in getting rid of this Blood Moon. Like, this is helping me more than my opponent. They're also easily losing the race. Let's force them to play spells. Which list are we on right now? That. These are just ridiculously good exchanges for me. And I don't need to fear any kind of counter magic because they lock themselves out under their own Blood Moon. They can't even cycle to draw a card. Yep, classic Blood Moon. No basics are mountains, basics are rainbow, right? Exactly. Classic prismatic omen. Seriously attracted to whatever it is we're doing right now. Thank you, thank you. It's my little brewski. We lost to Eldrazi Tron. My opponent was on the play twice, and they turned three. Their turn 3 carned me into the criminal coding, which is not something that this deck is equipped to beat. And we cannot go over the top of that. I mean, we can go over the top of Karn, but we cannot go over the top of turn 3 Karn. Turn 1 Chalice. Keep. Maybe we should pack a couple of Blood Moons in the Cyber. Yeah, we can cast them off Simian Spirit Guide, right? So one of my favorite cards, Crassus. We're just testing it. It has not been particularly good for now. Not particularly psyched about it. Blink Moth Nexus. Animation module. So that means scales. I'd much rather this chalice be on 2. I think I'm actually gonna play it on 1 here. I'd rather it be on 2, but I don't think I have the time to make that happen. Did not miss land drop. I don't think the Chalice and 1 plus Sphere kills them. Far from that. Yep, that's exactly why. And this is why I wanted the Chalice to be on 2. Redundant Sphere sucks ass. Shit. I think I'm gonna Trinity Sphere, but this kind of hoses me a little bit as well, because now my pact costs 3. They have a lot of damage here. I'm pretty sure that they are going to be able to set up a 2-turn clock. Fairly certain that they're going to be able to set up a 2-turn clock. Throne of Geth. Yep. Do we need to sack this? I think we have to sack a land to blow this up. Because they can sack something, but now they can proliferate. I think we're just really screwed here. Even if we top deck exactly Titan, I think we are just out of luck. I think we just SOL. Poggers. That's a good one. Okay, dismember, Sage, Force. That's it. Smudgel Blue is kind of tough for us. Okay, I think I actually like this. We have multiple Dryads, and then we're hopefully going to be able to get this Valakut going. Turn 1 scales is really scary. Okay. So unless they have a turn 3 kill, we should be in pretty solid shape here. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a nightmare. So they can make a ballista for 2, and that's gonna be a 6/6. Gross. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6 mana. It's Titan mana. If they make a 6/6 ballista, we can force them. What would happen? We can force them to kill our Dryad. Any chance you don't concede next time? Watching skills put together lethally start. Okay, Jimbo. All right, I'll do that. I mean, they'd had a pretty obvious lethal with the Hardened scales, so it wasn't going to be that cool. But I guess it would have been okay. Oh, hello there. So this is just lethal. Okay, I think this is it. Try it again. I love the proliferate on the Chalice. Such a sweet play. Let's see if we can do a Force. Force is kind of like one of the cards that really hoses my opponent's deck. It's kind of like Seal of Primordium in that it's a card that we can play that we don't basically have to hold up mana for, which is a lot of what these games are about. It's kind of like a tempo strategy. So I mean, if we find a Titan, this hand is pretty solid. We can turn 1 Steve, turn 2 Dryad, poggers. If I draw a line, I think I might as well just do that. Yeah, I actually think that's the line. Broken. Turn 1 Steve. How is my opponent even supposed to deal with that, right? Don't play a Ravager. Come on. Come on. Alright, that guy's fine. So if we draw a Titan or one of our one, I guess, or one pact, we're gonna be in really, really good shape. But if we don't, we're gonna be in really, really bad shape. I guess we can also draw a Valakut. Drawing Valakut would be pretty good. Oh, that's right, discard. Your deck plays discard. Osolith. It's no bueno, chat. That's like no bueno at all. Gonna be holding on to this Misty because if I draw Valakut, if I naturally draw Valakut, I want to make sure that I can get some damage with this Misty. So wow, if this had been an untapped land, I think they actually have lethal because of the Ink Moth. Okay. Gonna go kind of nuts with Osolith here. All right, so we have draws here. Okay, so we can draw. We can draw Valakut or Titan. If we draw Titan, we actually just win. This is fine. If we draw Valakut, 3, 6, Titan. Sad face. So now we're actually just dead. They just Phyrexia score, sack this, maybe in a combat, they, yeah. Get 17 1/1s. Tough. Tough stuff. Tough stuff. Not playing around. Not playing around Force Vigor. Alright, we did. Yeah, we were never getting there. Feels bad. Feels bad, man. Merit Lage Infect. We actually played Scales not long ago. I mean, maybe it was long ago actually. It was with the Osolith. opponent. Mac K Daddy, show yourself. Yeah, okay. Jando. Good old Jando. Damn it. Okay. Okay. Confirm Laxac opponent. Confirm Laxac. Let's do this. Invalid. And next turn we're gonna be able to try it. Unless they have an answer, a discard spell. Let's go to Forest. Nihil spell one. You got it. Lurrus. Oh, this is gonna be pretty good. Boop. Always yes, always yield. I guess another green. Boop. Should I Uro here? Nah, I'm just gonna leave the Uro to discard to a potential Liliana. Alright, Crass is pretty solid here. Not gonna lie. Not going to lie. That Crassus was pretty good. Double Maelstrom pools? Jeez. One, two, three, this. Castle. Prime time. Yes. Field. field. Gustos, Bales, Tracker, Bailoff, Raminap. Do we care about Trinisphere even? I think on the draw. I think I'm just gonna just cut all the lock pieces. Whatever. They're not really doing anything. I'm not excited about Semi-Spirit Guides, but whatever. This deck is kind of the John Destroyer, right? Keeping this, thank you very much. Bye bye, Crassus. Please tell me it's gonna happen. It has to happen now. Hallelujah. 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 Oh, 100% Kriegasm. Oh, they have another discard spell? That's glorious. They have another discard spell. That's amazing. Oh, man. They almost fired off the other discard spell. That's insane. Seal of Fire. You got it. I think I'm gonna Udo here instead of Dryad. Kind of want to dig a little bit deeper. And if we find the blue source, we're actually in really good shape. Blue source? Yep, that is a blue source. Name Giants. Pass the turn. I also like that this plays around Boil pretty effectively. So I can Dryad and deal 3 to Liliana. If I do that, then we discard the Crassus, but then we get Udo. Yeah, okay. CS always healed. If they plus with discard Crassus, I mean, I guess they have to plus, right? They cannot minus. And then we get back Udo. So we only get punished if they draw exactly Nihil Spellbomb. Did they draw exactly Nihil Spellbomb? Lurus. Well, that's really fucking good for them. That's like insanely good. They get to answer the... Opponent, what are you doing? They could have Seal of Fire and replay the Seal of Fire. Blue, blue, green, green. Good stuff. All right, Indiana down. Grey Ogre, go. Seems challenging for my opponent to get out of this. Tarmogoyf. You got it. That was a really big mistake. Really big mistake from our opponent. Wow. I guess they just missed that the Dryad is a 2/4. Or that they had the Seal of Fire in play. We were able to punish. No acceleration, double chalice. Meh. Better. Certainly better. Because we're gonna bottom this. Oddly enough, I would like to get paired against... Wait, what is this? Just got the buy. I might have gone to the buy here. The token stack? Legion's Landing. It is the token stack. So that was their top deck, otherwise we would have led on that turn 1. Agent 56k with the Twitch Ram sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold Agent 56. Thank you for your support. Hope you enjoy your stay. I think I should Chalice on 2 here in this matchup. Hey G-Force, welcome. No lifelink for you. No lifelink for you. Intangible Beer 2. Okay. Yeah, we definitely Chalice for 2. Block. Get an island. Boom. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sad face. Why is everyone talking about tokens? Cause like apparently it's like fine. It's like a deck that can win against the fair decks of the format. They can never beat our deck though, probably. Who's the tokens deck now exactly? Do you want me to teach you how to make tokens, opponent? So I'll teach you. You have a thing or two to learn about making tokens. Hello. Creators mentioned a few times. I believe it's almost unwinnable, but otherwise the deck is really good actually. Yep. That's what I heard as well. So Force, Sage for sure. And do we care about Chalice? Turns out Grave Titan is better when he also fetches 2 lands. Yeah, and when he makes 4 zombies instead of just 2. So Primetime is basically Grave Titan with multiple upsides. Sounds like an accurate description. Should we cut Udo? On the draw, I like Trini a little bit less. On the play, I think I'm gonna bring those Trini Spheres back. You would like to say hi, basically? Yeah, the deck cannot beat the card Engineered Explosives. It's just not a beatable magic card for the archetype. So this hand can be like a turn 2 Dryad. Or turn 3 Dryad, turn 4 Primetime. Blast Zone. I think we chill. Okay. My opponent doesn't want to play this game anymore. Unsurprising, like their deck just cannot beat a Result Primeval Titan, so not particularly surprising. Alright, so 4-1 with the first league, 7-1 with the second one. Our losses were to the Sharkblade deck, Blue-White Sharkblade. We lost to Scales, which Scales honestly felt kind of miserable. It felt like we just didn't have too many tools against it. Like we were probably banking on Force of Vigor a little bit too much, and we have exactly 1 copy, so... And the other loss was to... I totally forgot what the other loss... Oh, Eldrazi Tron. Eldrazi Tron when they had turn 3 Karn both games. Not much that can be done about turn 3 Karn. We could play something like Oof in the sideboard. It sounds so bad though. Collector Oof. Sounds pretty awful. One hole that I am realizing that we have in the deck building is Meddling Mage. So like humans would probably be a pretty bad matchup for us. Maybe we would need more copies of access to more copies of Dismember. Kogla the Titan Ape. God damn it. Good stuff, good stuff. Crisis actually wasn't bad. I'm not sure it was necessarily better than a Titled Tracker though. Because the nice thing about Tracker is that you play it on curve and you just start getting value from there. While Crisis only does anything once you already have all of your mana in place. So they are fairly different cards in terms of how they actually play out, which is a little bit of an issue. But like we destroyed John, we destroyed Death Shadow both times that we faced it. Those seem to be like our strong matchups there. So we want to beat the fair decks. And some of the unfair decks we also have a pretty nice advantage against. Like I would have liked to be paired against Tron, against Storm, for example, which is usually a really bad matchup for any kind of Titan deck. But having access to Trini Sphere plus Chalice plus Dumping Sphere and Ashia from the board probably means that we're probably in fine shape here. This deck has felt a lot more real than I originally thought it would be, to be honest. Tracker is way better than Crassus. Yeah, I mean, that's why I started with a Tracker, and then we tried out Crassus because we can. Like, there was just not much of a reason to not try it. It did feel a little bit random as a one copy in the main deck, but I thought it was actually just fine. Just go back to that. The sideboard definitely feels like it needs work. I am overall pretty happy actually with the current main deck configuration. The main deck configuration has felt pretty decent. I would like to have access to more explore kind of cards, mostly because in the green X Titan Field decks that we have played in the past, one thing that these decks do is they have cards like Explore and such. I mean, not this deck, of course, but like we have cards like Explore and Search for Tomorrow, which are cards that they go to the graveyard while ramping us, which feeds Uro. While this deck kind of doesn't have that many efficient ways of feeding Uro, which is a little bit problematic. So I kind of feel like I would like more copies of Explore, for example. Maybe that's what we can do. Just as a card that we can use, it goes to the graveyard and it can help us escape Uro in the mid game. Don't mind something like that. Maybe extra fetch lands. I think that 4 fetches are kind of fine. We have already a reasonable amount of basics, and we have also ways to go get those basics with Steve. So I don't think like we beat Blood Moon earlier today very easily. We barely even cared about it. What if you just lost the packs for Explore? Well, the packs are redundant Titans, right? And redundant Dryads. Like this is taking again. I shaped this deck based on the Legacy version, right? And one thing that, like, probably the most important card, even more important so than the Ancient Tombs, is the fact that this deck has access to Green Sun Zenith. So Zenith can get ramp in the early game. It can get a Dryad in the mid game, or an Uro or a Tracker, and then in the late game it can go and get one of the Titans. So that's why we actually get to play less copies of Titan. Unfortunately, there's no card that gets a similar effect. We could try with Finale instead, but Finale just seems so much worse than it just seems so much worse than just Summoner's Pact. It might be worth trying, just because, I guess. And it's probably better with Trinisphere. But now Titan costs 8 mana? Although with the Trinisphere, Titan under the other with a Pact would cost 9 mana, so that's even worse. I mean, I guess it's worth trying out. There's no reason not to. It's both explore and late game power. I think that Dryad Arbor is like bad enough of a card that it's probably not worth running. Like, we can always finale for Steve. Like, that's a lot better. Yeah, okay, we can try that out. As far as the sideboard goes, we'd like to have access to one more copy of Dismember. At this point, that probably means that maybe Excavator's gotta go. And the second tracker gotta go. Exio for Arbor, yes, I am very well aware, but I think that Arbor is bad enough in this deck that it's not worth including. That's what I'm trying to say, Cape. Could do something like this. We could also just cut the Gusts or the Disputes. I don't think we want to cut the Gusts, but the Disputes are up for grabs. I don't care about the card too much. Also Veil, maybe we can cut. Some pretty tough dis-synergy with Chalice. Okay, yeah, that gives us a couple more spaces. And that's the room for the second tracker and the Damping Sphere. Okay. So, I'm enjoying updating this deck. I think it's fun. So the question is, do we want to play another league with this, or do we want to play some night memes? So these are the two possibilities right now. So I'm going to submit it to vote. And whichever wins, we're going to be playing up next, okay? If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.